presence of a quorum.
Councilor Arroyo, Councilor Baker, Councilor Siomo, Councilor Conley, Councilor Consalvo, Councilor Jackson, Councilor Lamattina, Councilor Linehan, Councilor Murphy,
Here.
Councilor O'Malley, Councilor Presley, Councilor Ross, and Councilor Yancey. You have a quorum, Mr. President.
I've been informed by the clerk that a quorum is present. I'd ask all in attendance to please rise as I have the honor to introduce my friend and colleague, City Councilor Tito Jackson, who will introduce Reverend John Matthew Borders IV of Morning Star Baptist Church. After Reverend Borders delivers today's invocation, I'd ask all to remain standing as Councilor Jackson leads us in a salute to the flag. Please welcome Councilor Tito Jackson.
Thank you, President Murphy. I am very excited to introduce to this body a friend of mine, but also a leader in the city of Boston. Born and raised in Boston's Dorchester neighborhood, John Matthew Borders IV graduated from Morehouse College in the year 2007. I got in, but I did not go to Morehouse, so I look up to him for that. I do want to note that Martin Luther King also went to Morehouse College and graduated at the age of 15. Upon returning from Atlanta, Georgia, Matthew brought his knowledge and his skills and gained in school back to his community to share with others as he continued to change the lives of those he encounters, especially youth. He has also pursued a graduate degree in divinity at Boston University. Matthew now serves the church that raised him, Morning Star Baptist, where he served as a youth pastor. It is there each Sunday that he guides youth to follow the principles that lead him from their seat to where he stands now. Matthew continues to be that shining light for the youth of his community through the Body Snatchers ministry that he founded. A faith-based nonprofit organization, Body Snatchers promotes holistic development for at-risk youth in urban disenfranchised neighborhoods through creative arts, sports, civic engagement, and education. He's a Bostonian, a family man. He and his wife, Francisca, are the proud parents of 2 girls, Madison and Bailey, and a man of God. I welcome John Matthew Borders IV to the Boston City Council today and thank him for gracing us with this prayer.
I've learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not the one who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. President Nelson Mandela. To Council President Murphy, members of the Council, Councilor Jackson in particular, for extending the invitation, for which I am truly humbled, and to all who occupy this space, may we now take this moment to assume the posture of prayer. As we transition from one season to the next, we are reminded of so many things for which we give thanks. For family present and those who've gone on. For friends and loved ones who travel from near and far. For those who've answered the call to serve in a multitude of ways, we say thank you. For allowing us to be a part of this process for which men and women gave their lives, we say thank you. We say thank you for the work accomplished by our beloved Mayor Menino and pray your hand continues to rest on him and his family through this transition. We also pray for Mayor-elect Walsh. May the relationship between he and the council be a productive one, and may their work together move your city forward. Prepare the hearts of those to come and keep the hearts of those who will soon depart. Only you know the many sacrifices made by these your servants whose selfless efforts aim toward what is just. You know their needs. You said in your word, for God so loved the world that he gave. These have given and continue to give. Give back to them richly and meet their every need. May this session and sessions to come be full of life, compromise, and most of all, love. May the voices of the more than 500,000 people represented by these resound now and be remembered as decisions are made. May the primary interest be forever the betterment of these people, of this great city for which you've entrusted to these your servants. May your city thrive and be the beacon of light it's been, yet may the next chapter be the best chapter your city has experienced yet. May the men and women in this hall be forever remembered for their work, and may your city continue to be enriched as a result of their service. This and the innermost desires of our hearts we do now ask in your name, and all who agreed said amen.
Thank you, Reverend Borders, for your inspiring words. Please join Councilor Jackson as we salute the flag. I pledge allegiance. Councilor Jackson will escort clergy from the chamber. If there are no corrections to be made, the minutes from council's last meeting stand approved. Seeing no objections or corrections, the minutes are so approved. Madam Clerk, communications from His Honor the Mayor.
Docket number 1886, message and order authorizing the Department of Neighborhood Development to apply for, accept, and expend federal fiscal year FFY 2013 Continuum of Care Grant Fund of $25 million from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, known as HUD, to be used to support programs that provide services and housing to the homeless.
Docket 1886 will be referred to the Committee on Housing.
Docket number 1887, message and order authorizing the Mayor's Office of Emergency Management to accept and expend a grant of $109,030 from the United States Department of Homeland Security, DHS, Emergency Management Performance Grant, EMPG, FY 2012 award to provide resources to assist local government.
Docket 1887 will be referred to the Committee on Public Safety.
Docket number 1888, message and order authorizing the City of Boston to accept and expend the FY13 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, known as HUD, Fair Housing Assistance Program grant funds awarded to the Boston Fair Housing Commission for the purpose of conducting investigations, educating the public, engaging in activities that reduce impediment to housing choice, and as payment for the BFHCS FY13 investigatory work pursuant to the BFHC/HUD Fair Housing Assistance Partnership, known as FHAP, agreement for a total amount of $107,924.
Docket 1888 will be referred to the Committee on Housing. Reports of public officers and others.
Docket number 1889. Notice was received from the Mayor, from the City Clerk in accordance with Chapter 6 of the Ordinances of 1979 regarding action taken by the Mayor on papers acted upon by the City Council at its meeting of November 6, 2013.
Docket 1889 will be placed on file.
Docket number 1890. Notice was received from the City Clerk in accordance with Chapter 6 of the Ordinances of 1979 regarding action taken by the Mayor on papers acted upon by the City Council at its meeting of November 20th, 2013.
Docket 1890 will be placed on file. Reports of committees.
Docket number 1798, the Committee on Labor, Youth Affairs, and Health, to which was referred on November 20th, 2013. Docket number 1798, message and order authorizing the Boston Center for Youth and Families to accept and expend a grant of $332,000.08 from the Boston Public Health Commission for the purpose of continued support for the Safe and Successful Youth Initiative, submits a report recommending the order ought to pass in a new draft.
Speaking on docket 1798, the chair recognizes the vice chair of the Committee on Labor, Youth Affairs, and Health, Councilor Bill Linehan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise that the chair, Felix Arroyo, held a hearing on Thursday, December 5th, and as the vice chair, I rise to ask my colleagues to approve this matter in a new draft. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Linehan. Question now comes by Council, motion by Councilor Linehan to that the matter pass in a new draft. Question now comes on acceptance of the committee report and passage of docket 1798 in a new draft. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 1798 has passed in a new draft. Matters recently heard for possible action.
Docket number 1609, order approving a petition for a special law regarding an act concerning long-term homeowners.
Chair recognizes Councilor Maxiomo on docket 1609.
Thank you, Mr. President. This matter was sponsored by Chief Sponsor Linehan Murphy and myself and was referred to the committee on October 9th, 2013. The committee held a public hearing on this docket on Tuesday, December 10th. By way of background, this initiative began as docket 0217, property tax rates for longtime homeowners in the city of Boston, sponsored by Councilors Linehan and Murphy. The public hearing was held on February 21st, 2013, and a working session was subsequently held on September 10th, 2013. Council staff worked with the staff from the assessing department as well. The matter before us today, docket 1609, is the result of those efforts. The petition, now in a new draft, will provide a tax-deferred program modeled after 41A tax elderly deferral for long-term residents. The assessing department added language that requires a 10% increase in taxes to qualify and also added a sunset clause to the legislation. We've also worked with the assessing department to make a few technical clarifications, the terms of the agreement, and to clarify the vote to extend the program at the end of the sunset clause. This program will be offered for a period of 2 years beginning in fiscal year 2015 and will expire at the end of fiscal year 2016 if not extended by a vote of the full City Council. As the Chairman of Ways and Means, I recommend that the listed docket be moved from the committee to the full council for formal action, and I'd like to turn it over to the chief sponsors for his comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Siomo. Chair recognizes Councilor Bill Linehan.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I'd like to thank the chair, Councilor Siomo, for his efforts this year on behalf. As folks can remember, it was back when everybody got their assessing bill. Their properties were assessed, and some people had tax increases of over 100%. I mean, their property value had just escalated in such a way. So this particular bill petition allows long-term homeowners, folks that have been in their home for 10 years or more, an opportunity when their taxes are increased by more than 10%, that they can defer that until the actual transfer of the property, whether it be sold or bequeathed in whatever way. This is similar to one that's held for folks now that are 65 or older, but it allows people to stay in their home, and that was the original intent, to make sure that folks were not driven to sell their homes due to increased taxes. So I applaud Commissioner Rakow for his support and his team for working on this matter with us, and this gives another option. The residents of the city of Boston are very fortunate. They receive, if you live in your home, on the average $1,700 or more exemption. Because of classification, the residential tax base is only 1/3 of that of commercial tax base. And there are other programs, whether it be for veterans and or the blind or seniors. But this really truly allows folks to stay in their home until they no longer want to be there. So I want to thank everybody for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Linehan. At this time, Councilor Siomo moves acceptance of the committee report and passage of docket 1609. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 1609 has passed.
Docket number 1610, order for hearing to discuss poverty and unemployment in the
Docket
city of Boston.
1610 will remain in the Committee on Women and Healthy Communities. Do you wish to speak, Counselor? On that matter? Chair recognizes Counselor Charles Yancey.
Yes. Mr. President, we had a very interesting hearing on the topic of unemployment and poverty in the city of Boston yesterday, chaired very professionally and ably by City Councilor at Large Ayanna Presley. The reason I rise is because I would like to add her name to this matter, even though it is still in committee. I would like us to officially note that she's one of the co-sponsors. So I'd like to pull it out of the committee, make that change, and put it back in. Yes, it is.
Counselor Yancey's motioning to remove docket 1610 from the Committee of Women and Healthy Communities, make an editorial change on sponsorship. It's seconded by Counselor Jackson, and all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 1610 will be remanded back to the Committee on Women and Healthy Communities at this time.
I'm sorry, personal orders. Docket number 1891, Councilor Murphy for Councilor LaMattina offered the following order for the appointment of temporary employees: Catherine Carangelo, Camilo Hernandez, Janet L. Knott,
Council LaMattina moves suspension of the rules and passage of docket 1891. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 1891 has passed.
Docket number 1892, Councilor Murphy for Councilor LaMattina.
Council LaMattina moves suspension of the rules and passage of docket 1892. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 1892 has passed. The clerk informs me that there are 3 late filed matters in her hands, which in absence of objection will be added to today's agenda. Hearing no objection, the matters are so added. The clerk will read the first addition to the agenda.
Communication from Councilor Felix Arroyo to Council President Stephen J. Murphy. Dear Council President Murphy, I am unable to attend the City Council meeting today, December 11, 2013, because I am participating in the Anti-Defamation League's Latino Leader Mission to Israel. The Anti-Defamation League is one of the nation's most respected authorities on education, legislation, and services that counteract hatred, prejudice, and discrimination in all forms. My staff will be present in my absence to brief me on the matters discussed. Thank you for your understanding. Sincerely, Felix G. Arroyo, Boston City Councilor at Large.
The first late file matter will be placed on file. Madam Clerk, please read the second late file matter.
Communication from Councilor John R. Conley to President Stephen J. Murphy. Dear Council President Murphy, I regret that I am unable to attend today's City Council meeting. I will have staff present who will brief me fully, and I will review the records of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The second late file matter will be placed on file. We have the third late file matter, first and last.
This is an order from Councilor Charles C. Yancey, ordered that under the provisions of Section 17F of Chapter 376 of the Acts of 1951, as amended and under any applicable provisions of law, His Honor the Mayor be and hereby is requested to obtain and deliver to the City Council within 1 week of the receipt thereof the following information: questions regarding Veolia Transportation concerning the events of October 8th, 2013. And then I'll just read the last.
Yeah, just read the headers for each.
Yeah. Questions regarding Viola's investigation on the events of October 8th, questions regarding the Boston Public Schools and the event of October 8th, 2013, questions regarding Mayor Thomas Menino and events of October 8th, 2013.
And there's another page, Madam Clerk.
Oh, yes, sorry about that. Questions regarding Veolia and BPS without Veolia's vendor contract.
Those matters shall be the Council Yancey recommends suspension of the rules and passage of the 17F. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 17F has passed. Anybody wishing to remove a matter from the green sheets may do so at this time. Oh, there are a lot of takers here. Chair recognizes Councilor Tito Jackson. Do you want to remove something from the green sheets, Councilor? No? Chair recognizes Councilor Sal Lamatina. Oh, Chair recognizes Councilor Matt O'Malley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask to remove docket 1221, which is on page 13 of 19 of the green sheets. It's, again, docket 1221, 13 of 19.
In the Committee on Government Operations, docket number 1221, sponsored by Councilor Lamatina, order approving a petition for a special law regarding an act directing the City of Boston Police Department to waive the maximum age requirement for police officers for Edward Grace.
Mr. President, this docket was sponsored by Councilor Salvatore Lamatina and Councilor Stephen J. Murphy and referred to the Committee on Government Operations on July 31st, 2013. This home rule petition would authorize the City of Boston Police Department to waive the maximum age requirement for original appointment of police officers for Edward Grace. Committee held a public hearing on October 8th where Mr. Grace offered testimony expressing his commitment to the City of Boston, his desire to become a police officer, and explained that he has consistently taken the entrance exam, scoring in the top tier. Under the current law, the maximum age requirement for police officers for original appointment is 40 years old at the time of the entrance exam. The age was raised to 40 in the year 2007. No age requirement existed from 1980 to 1999. This proposal is narrowly tailored, and the policies of the Boston Police Department would not be altered. Mr. Grace would be required to meet all qualifications in order to become a police officer, obviously including the psychological and physical capabilities. And I know Councilor Lamatina, the sponsor, can offer a little bit more insight, but we had a hearing. I'm fine to allow for a vote and ask that my colleagues to vote favorably on this today.
Thank you, Councilor O'Malley. Chair recognizes Councilor Sal Lamatina.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Grace is a constituent of mine who lives in Charlestown. And I believe in July of 2007, there was a hearing held here in this council. I believe the president was the chairman of public safety at the time. And there were, I believe, 25 residents of Boston who were concerned about raising the limit and because they've been taking the exams. At that time, Chairperson Murphy mentioned to the group that if they would want to become a police officer and take the test, that we would help them and have a hearing to waiver their the age requirement for those 25. Out of those 25, only one resident, Mr. Grace, took us up on the offer, and he came and asked us if we would sponsor this resolution for a waiver and home rule petition so he could take the exam and if he does well, to become a police officer. So it will definitely have to go to the State House and signed by the mayor. And I asked my colleagues to please sign on, to sign and support this.
Thank you, Councilor Lamatina. Councilor O'Malley at this time moves passage of the, what's the number on that, Madam Clerk?
Docket number 1221.
1221. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 1221 has passed. Anybody else wishing to remove a matter from the green sheets at this time? There is one late filed matter which, in absence of objection, will be added to today's consent agenda. Hearing no objection, the matter is so added. The chair moves adoption of the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is adopted. The chair at this time would ask all councilors and all guests to please rise. Council is preparing to adjourn in memory of the following individuals: for Councilors Lamatina and Ross, Herb Gleason; for Councilor O'Malley, Michael J. Lynch; Councilor O'Malley and Consalvo, Wayne J. Wilson Jr.; for Councilor Baker, Terrence T.J. Dye; for Councilors O'Malley and Connolly, Loretta Lennon; for Councilor Presley, Nelson Mandela; and for Councilor Ross, Thomas M. Keene Sr., the father of former City Councilor Tom Keene. We have a moment of silence for those aforementioned. Thank you. The chair moves that when the council adjourns today, Wednesday, December 11th, it will do so in memory of the aforementioned individuals, and will schedule to meet again on Wednesday, December 18th at 12 o'clock noon. All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye. Aye. Council stands adjourned.